It's me, hooray! Good evening. Do you see the look down there? Am I muted? That stung. That did sting. Anyway, how are you all? Good evening. Blissful Badger, Machine, XS, hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. All that jazz. How is everybody? Did you all have a good New Year and all that jazz? Was it all as just breathtakingly awesome as it should have been? I sincerely hope so. I sincerely hope so. What do I want to do? I don't know. Sorry, I'm having one of those. Right, what was I doing? How do I do this again? It's been a week. You know. Problem? What up? Happy New Year. Hello. Good to see you. You said good, Happy New Year to me already when you saw me. But Happy New Year, I guess you say it to everyone else, not me, right? I'm just the face on the screen. The facilitator of the anarchy. How is everybody anyway? Are you all well? I sincerely hope so. I hope you're all good. We have things to talk about tonight. Stuff's happened. There are things. Oh, look at that. I wrote a really, really nice thing to put into, what's it called? WhatsApp. To local players and be like, hey guys, here's the thing. Let's look at the thing. Then, of course, as standard, it decides it's not going to. Just doesn't want to do the thing. My life is difficult. I don't know how I cope, to be honest with you. But yes, how was everybody's New Year? Did you have fun? Did you have an enjoyable time? Was it good for you? What did you get for Christmas? If I haven't seen you since then. What did you get? Anything exciting? I hope wargaming related, because you deserve it. You should. You can never have too many miniatures. Clearly. Yeah. I'm going to continue to tell myself that until I believe it. But I think I would say last week, but not everyone was around. I got some mule bots, which was nice. Finishing off the JSA, which was also nice. It's good to have those done. Because, you know, that's a finished army now. If I say it often enough, we can all believe it. That's what I reckon. But, yeah. I just realised I forgot to set something up that I meant to. So I'm just doing that now. Being thoroughly professional as usual. Get rid of it. Go away. Go over there. That'll annoy me later, but it's not going to annoy me now. So that's the important thing. Yeah, that one goes there. Right. Back in the room. Oh my good, dear Lord. You're here so we can chat. That's nice. I'm glad I'm a facilitator machine. That's good to hear. Anarchy is fun. Yeah, this group does it well. No Machine was the first of the year. We had New Year's Eve party over there. Oh, I didn't get an invite. Cheers, guys. Appreciate that. I haven't added more Infinity models. Blissful Badger, what did you get? This is nice to hear. You have been painting stuff, I have to say. Problem, I have been seeing it appearing on everywhere, but also Discord, and that was nice to see. Oh, hang on. Dear Lord, it's exploded. Blissful Badger, everyone's everywhere. XS, hello. All right, Twitch, hello. G'day. Tiger, thank you very, very much for subscribing again using your Prime on Twitch. That is very kind. Cheers, buddy. And don't forget, if you haven't and you do have Prime and you're not using the thing, then if you go to Twitch and you subscribe, it doesn't cost you a bean. And we take money away from Amazon. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a good thing. A blissfully good thing. Thank you very much for that, Psycho. And Mal Winters as well. Thank you very much, buddy. That is very, very kind of you too. That's awesome. I managed to ignore... What? What did you do, Access? That sounds painful. You can probably get a cream for that. At the basis for my torchlight, it only took something like 7 different versions before I settled on the final version. Sometimes basically just goes like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm working on the stuff for my shock army at the moment, and it's great, but it's not quite where I want it to be. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right. Oh my goodness, all the love going off on YouTube. My dear Lord. All I've got to do is I've got to get my together so that I get all the chats in one place and I can just like have the thing. but that requires a degree of time and attention that I lack. So where were we? Good afternoon from LA. Gene Dean, hello buddy, good to see you. Mr. Gets shouted out on a Dice Gods video. That's when you know you've made it on the internet, when I'm talking about you. And a wallet. A wallet is useful. You've got to put the money in to take the money out, and it's somewhere to put your receipts so you know what you've bought. It's very important, I find. Gotta have that. In gear, hello. Wife got me the Emberguard. Oh, nice, for Underworlds on the cheap. So already had fun painting some fancy marines. Nice. Always good. Mr. Rogers, old man Rogers. Welcome. Hello, buddy. It's good to see you. How are you feeling today? You're five-foozled, but I hope your new year is off to a good start. It was not bad. It was all right. It was the Netherlands on New Year's is obscene for the volume of like fireworks they set up, and I have a dog that doesn't like fireworks. I was up until 4 AM because that's when the fireworks stopped going off. This was my happy face at 4 o'clock in the morning. Stop. Fireworks. I don't mind fireworks, but 4 AM? Really? No need. That was not the phrase that I used. It was much worse. My mum would have been just shocked. Kind of proud, but also shocked. Little budget, I added some Aleph Steel Phalanx, might have added some Nomads and random Yuching. Just stick it all in there, stir it all up, see what comes out. It's what Corvus Belly does to build out the NA2 profile stuff, so you just go for it, buddy. There are a few second-hand sellers in the US and I placed an order. Nice. Good job. You're penning Killjoy from Malifaux. Yeah, I've read somewhere that Killjoy's a thing. Killjoy, isn't Killjoy the big teddy? Is that, am I got that wrong? That's what my mind is telling me that Killjoy was, or it might not be. I don't know. Anywho. No, he's not. He's the, like, boogeyman beastie thing, isn't he? I seem to recall that with, like, flesh stretched and very, yeah, gross. I seem to recall he's very cool. I seem to recall that Lilith has him. And I seem to recall that I'm glad I've not faced him. Mike, happy new Ariadne year. You could be right. I don't know where. I think it went off on one of the secret squirrel channels that you're not, you know. But it's publicly available if you know where to look. But Corvus Belly have confirmed that this year we are getting a new 2-player starter set. And the hint is that they hate each other. Now, Aleph versus Nomads. I mean, you know, who else hates each other? Okay, everybody, pretty much. Apart from Hack. Hack doesn't seem to hate anyone. Someone else noticed that Hack doesn't hate anyone. It's very disturbing. Very disturbing indeed. Also, has the lucky person, as in me, been selected for Elfall? Well, there are 2 lucky people. One of the lucky people has been told, and I'm going to do a video announcing it all. That individual has been told, because it was for the live stream where I had like 30 entries, I think. 34 entries, memory tells me, that we had from here. So that one I did. That was relatively simple. The one for the comments, which was 200 and change, 250, 260 comments in total, once all of the extra ones for all the members and stuff have been added in, has also been drawn, but that person has been told. So that's the thing. So, yeah. Yeah, he eats everything, that's Killjoy. I thought so. I thought so, Rob. Very gruesome miniature, but very, very cool. Psycho is waiting on a massive bolt action order. It's going to be an epic edition, but I keep remembering it means 11 SDK episode 250s, 30 deck soldiers and 5 special characters to paint. While you're still working on your Warchrome diorama. I'm not seeing a problem there. That sounds like, with your work rate as well, because you do bash stuff out. It has to be said, you do definitely bash stuff out. I'm expecting that to be done by February, to be honest, buddy. Anything less is you're just slacking, clearly. So, Hack is misinformed. Now, no need to be like that. Hack is not misinformed. They're just a good. They like the cubes and the spice and the flows. It's great. Thank you. Come again. They are in gear. That's the thing, isn't it? They're the ones sat in the middle, like, yeah, you keep killing each other. We'll just keep selling you the stuff so you can resurrect yourselves. Yeah, it's great. It's not a problem. No, it wasn't me, indeed. At least when I get into Eldfall, I won't have 8 12-man units to paint. That's absolutely true. You will not. You will absolutely not. And they're so pretty. I think on Thursday, when we do the Painty stream, we're going to be finishing off this young lady because there's very little of her left now. She's nearly there, like the feet, the bottom of the trousers, that leg, this little bit of like stuff here, and then the base. But the rest is kind of, it's all right. She's looking all right. Blew up the trousers a bit more. And then that'll be 2. And I stripped these back as well. These bad boys are all stripped back. So my clan champion, so I had a previous colour scheme on them, I just did not like it. And the beast, the absolute beast that is my Notaoshi. I'm still debating. There's a fairly good chance that I need to buy a second starter box because I can have 2 on Notaoshi and an extra bushy attendant with the bow, because then I'll have the number that I need later. And then I need another set of the Mushi as well, the big guys with the bows and the swords, because then I can build all of the really filthy lists that I made recently. You know, sometimes you write a list and you're like, oh God, 2 lists back to back. I felt sickened. So we need to play those and see how they do. Definitely. More importantly, we need to bring them onto the channel so you guys can all see the... I was going to say the glory. It's just not pleasant. It's just not pleasant, but yeah. Shampoo. Good evening. Hello. You watched Gene Part 1 the other day. Hack is cool. Part 2 is, however, another streaming service. Grumble, grumble. Yeah. It's worth it. Part 1 is, I don't know if you know, but it's halfway through the first book sort of thing. So it kind of does the whole setup and then goes... and then you watch 2 and it's like, yes! They're both awesome films, though, to be fair. I'm a huge fan. I have, like, art books and stuff from up there, and I own both of them on digital because, you know, such good films. And then we're going to get the third one this year. Is it this year? I think it's this year. Hack does not have that problem, no. Rumour has it you're getting into Fallout, factions and Gaslands. 100% incorrect. 100%. I have publicly stated, after a lengthy stretch of Legion, this year, Legion, sure, that's the thing that appears to be happening. Why does it appear to be happening? Because I keep looking at the damn miniatures. You know, when you're like, no, I don't need to go, that's fine. And then you look at them, you're like, no, I'm fine, it's not a problem. And we've now got to the point where, like, that one, I'm buying that box first. That's when the problem has arrived at head height. And I think I've told the story before, but I played in the... I had a lot of Legion in the previous edition. I had Republic, so I had all clones, I had clankers, I had all the bots and da-da-da. And then I had Rebs, I had the Rebels as well. So I had 3 out of the 5 armies-ish that were in that game. And then they announced the new version. They showed off the new miniatures, and I was like, I'm dropping them all. I'm going to sell the lot because the new ones are so much better than the old ones. And knowing that, I'm going to end up buying them all again. So I'm going to sell them while they've got value and then buy them again later. So it's now later. So I'm only doing what I said I was going to do. Right? This is a good thing. Following through. Guys, go with me here. Love it. Anyway. But no, not Fallout factions. I enjoy playing Fallout. I do love playing Fallout. But the concept of playing a war game set in that universe, you know, like, I get it, but I don't want to. I don't want to. And Gaslands are supposed to be cool, but read the book before the movie. Always have to read before watch. That is the best way to do it, I think. That is definitely the way to do it. Back up the Twitch stream as well. Thank you, Problems. Thank you for also being on Twitch too. I appreciate that. anyone who does have a Twitch and then do the Twitch and the thing, it's amazing, and I greatly appreciate it. So please, that would be great. There is a third coming. It's finished. It's shot. It's done. So it's now in post. So I believe it's this coming December, around the same time as I can't remember. Something else is coming out, I think, at the same time. And I think it might be the new Avengers one, which we're not going to talk about that, but it's one of those weekends where you're like, well, I know which one I'm going to watch, and it's due. Because I will watch the Avengers, because I love the Marvel movies. I think I've watched pretty much all of them and most of the TV shows. It's fun. It's entertaining. I enjoy it. But June is a spectacle. June is, I watch it in the cinema and I come away like, whoa, no, it's a film. That's the whole thing that cinema should be. Whereas I find Marvel, my superhero movies in general, are just popcorn movies. They're just like, yeah, that was cool. Yay, kill the bad guy. Woo! So, Blissful Badger minis do call to us. They sing their siren song and we are powerless to resist. So, speaking of that, 2 newish armies for War Machine. Yes, give me my Commando Trolls, and yes, give me my pigs with guns. Dear Lord. No. I'm not doing War Machine as well. Something would have to go. And seeing this year we're getting back in, we're getting the reignition of Flames of War as well. So I need to do early war for that. There's a limit. Even though it's going to be a lot easier. Good to see you on Twitch, buddy. Thanks, Kaz. Appreciate that. Good to see you, buddy. Likes, yes. In gear, definitely. Likes for the win. I think for post-decline of Western civilization games, I want to do This Is Not a Test. I don't know what that is. I don't get that reference, Gene Dean. I'm sorry. Kaz, your sound isn't working. Check it out. It's just... I'm tempted just to move my mouth and not make any noise now, so that when Kaz fixes it, he doesn't realise he has. That'll really mess with the rest of you, so I'm not going to do that. But it would almost be worth it. Wonder Man is coming to Disney Plus for a miniseries. Cool. Think you need a whole new dice god for all these war games. I would love to, in all fairness, with so the volume of opportunities that are coming to the dice gods at the moment, I'd love to get somebody else involved that could invest the time and energy, but there's 2 issues with it. One, I'm a control freak. You gotta know yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta know yourself, and I want to get an editor because I can trust a video editor, because I'm not a great video editor. I can do it, but it's slow and it's clunky and it could be a lot better, and there's a lot of ways it could be massively improved. So I'm happy to sort of push that out, but getting somebody else to do other videos, in fact Gene Dean did a video for me and that was very, very cool. He did that on War Machine. Had no issue with that because that wasn't a system that I was au fait with. But I kind of want to focus on some core ones this year, and that would mean getting somebody else to do a system that I know. And they're going to do it wrong. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know what they're talking about. But we already know they're wrong on something. And that would just make my brain itch. And then I'll have to go and upload it, and I'll be like, don't want to because it's wrong. Got to know yourself. So it would be good to get some help. And I think a video editor will be first, but then in the fullness of time, it would also be lovely to have another group of people to sort of, like with these sessions, to have 3 people around the screen all talking. I think it's more interesting, because otherwise you just get a monologue from me, which, don't get me wrong, freaking awesome, but this is basically a sermon. And it would be cool to have some variety, even if they were wrong. Expand the pantheon of the dice gods. It would be phenomenal. It would be brilliant. Instead of doing Fallout factions, I'd rather do the game This Is Not a Test. Same vibe, more freedom of narrative. Cool. That makes sense. That's fun. Yeah, I've thought about that. So, so, there is another project. and it's been on the chalkboard for a little while because I'm waiting for someone else who I love dearly and is a very good friend to become available. Somebody that I've interviewed before and is a really good friend. And we're going to do a thing about stuff. And it's going to be a podcast type thing. And it will be, this channel will promote it, but it will have its own environment because it's its own vibe. It's connected to, but not the same as the Dice Gods. So I do have that coming up. But I have thought about having like a featured guest on. And I really should do that. I really should do that. That's what we're going to get to on that one, Mike. Yes, you're right. Shut up. Dice demigods. The world's not ready. Shampoo, the world is not ready. Honestly. It's my Nephilim, clearly. But yeah. So we do have... I know! Excess. Right. Should I do that now? Commander Bossy Socks. Is that a thing that I should do? Bossy Socks seems to be the word of the week this week. So, wouldn't mind doing another video for War Machine or one of my current fixations. Yeah, we should talk, Gene. Yes. Straight answer, yes. You just need to figure out how to do that. Would Machine be renamed to... No, he wouldn't. No. I'm not letting Machine on the internet. He's already on TTS. That's bad enough. Dear God, man. So, I finally got around to doing something last week that I've meant to do for a while. And that was to launch the official Dice Gods merch store. We have merch. And I've been thinking about this for over a year, which means that there are a lot of ideas. So I'm slowly dumping everything out of my brain onto there. There's a lot more to come. They're out there. It's a thing. It is definitely a thing. And you can go and it will support the channel and it will support me. And you can also look very fashionable at the same time. And this is the merch store. And at the moment, for I think for another couple of weeks, you can use It's So Shiny, all in caps, in the basket to get 10% off of everything because it's just launched. So if you have the same effed up sense of humour that I do, and you find random stuff amusing, then yeah, you can go there and see the thing and use It's So Shiny and check out to get 10% off. Because that's cool. And then it supports the channel and we get more stuff. And then I can do more stuff. And then I can get that video editor because I need a video editor. But we got a... I've already had my first orders through there, which was really cool. The first person within like minutes was Euroblob. And that merch store does actually have an It Depends t-shirt on it. So if you've been around the channel a while, especially if you've done the Infinity Academy, then you will have seen, or you will have heard me say, it depends quite a bit. Because I do say that quite a bit. And it's become a thing. So you can now have it on t-shirt. Yeah, so that's the thing as well. So yeah, that merch store's out there. I'm going to be expanding that with other stuff. I have other things that I want to put on there. When Psycho and myself have sorted ourselves out, I think that's where you're going to be able to get the clogs from. Euroblob, your mid D&D Euroblob, pay attention, lad. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for saying hi, buddy. Good to see you. But yeah, I think that's where, when we can get stuff sorted out with Psycho, who's sorting out the clog key rings. If you haven't seen those, they've been up on Discord. But they are Dice Gods branded clog key rings. That should be happening in the medium term, and they'll be on the store for you to buy and then get them shipped out, and then you can have clogs of your very own. Roll for distraction. How could you not be distracted? Let's be honest. So yes, but also, being ever professional, if you can't look at the site at the moment, these are the kind of things that I've got on there. And these are things I've been thinking about for a while. And some of them are based on memes like this, which is obviously a Game of Thrones meme. That's what I do. I throw dice and I paint things because that just popped into my head. Most of this stuff have got like Dice Gods logos on the back. Crit happens, because it frequently does. These are the kind of things that I come up with when I'm tinkering around with. Only Dice amuses me way too much. More than it should. There are more Only Dice t-shirts coming, you have been warned. Now this is designed by XS, if memory serves. Okay, hang on, what? I got to get your name right, because it's not what you're called. And I always get it like messed up. Nikor on Discord designed this. So it's the official Clog Army of something, the Chaos badge for the Dice Gods. Because there seems to be, there's the Clog Mafia and then there's the Clog Army of something. But Clog Army, and then I have my brush water cup, because drinking brush water is a thing. So I decided I wanted a brush water cup that was marked as such, but branded, because it's got to be done. So we've got one of those. So that's cool. I've got an official Dice Gods Mafia t-shirt, Clog Mafia, sorry, Dice Gods Clog Mafia, say it right, t-shirt, and then an actual cup of the Clog Mafia as well, which has got logos on it too. So it's all very shiny and nice, and that's the kind of stuff that you can find in there, random insanity that has gone on there. But yeah, so if you can do that, if you can join in and support the channel, that would be absolutely super duper, and I'd appreciate it immensely. And if you can't, I don't blame you, because it's just random stuff that I pulled out from between my ears. Only Dice is Gold. Thank you very much. Nuclear Kid, long time no see. How are you, buddy? I'm painting some Gundam Assemble minis in the hope the game A comes out this year and is cool. I love optimistic miniature purchases. I had it with Eldfall. I got the first set, that came in, and then I got the second set pretty much as soon as the first set arrived. It's like, it's going to be fine. I hadn't really read the rules, didn't really know them, decided it was going to be great. Thankfully it was, but there was that kind of optimistic moment of like, I'm sure it'll be fine. How bad can it be? Well, pretty bad actually. You'd be amazed how much people screw up war games from time to time, but yeah. But yes, in gear, there's going to be a lot of, or some more Only Dice t-shirts coming up. That's a dirty laugh, because I've remembered some of them. But yeah, so we've got lots of stuff coming up, and if you can support us through the merch, that'd be great. Enough. So, ooh, got another follower on Twitch. Now up to 45 followers on Twitch. That's amazing. I'm so impressed. The Twitch has grown so well. This whole streaming thing has grown so well. I was talking to some people before this all happened, before I started streaming. And a very good friend of mine was kind of like, well, you know, when I streamed first year or so, you get 4 or 5 people watching you, maybe a couple more, maybe a bit more here, maybe a bit more there. But that's the way that it goes. And I think we were on 15 on the first night. Obviously, I've got a YouTube channel and I've got you guys are really here to support me, and that's really, really cool. But I'm just constantly amazed that we're frequently, between Twitch and YouTube, over 20 people. It's awesome. So, anyway. Nuclear Kid, I also have a starter warband for Bushido on the go. A couple of FOGS regulars are getting into it, even if it doesn't take their really nice models. Yeah, I've seen Bushido over the years. They do make some good stuff. They do make pretty stuff. Only flumps. See, I don't play D&D, but yeah, anything with only in the front of it, just, I don't understand the pop culture reference. It's clearly a pop culture reference, but I don't understand it myself. But I understand it's very funny. So, you know, constantly amused. But yeah, anywho, so who else like me, the one advantage of me staying up over New Year's is I got to watch Stranger Things as soon as it launched. So I finished that, and then I read today that there's a theory that we're going to get an extra episode on the 7th. And I was like, we were done. It's done. And then going to do another one. I mean, I'm here for it, and I'll watch it because I'm an idiot. But if it happens, it's an internet rumour. But you know when you watch, I don't know if you ever watch some of these conspiracy theory things, and I can see how they join the dots. With every conspiracy theory pretty much that I've ever seen, I've been like, yeah, no, I see how you got there. I mean, I damn near put my back out bending over so far to see it, but I see how you got there. But with the whole thing with the new extra episode of Stranger Things, I was like, oh, that really makes sense. Like, damn it. Oh, God. I fell for it. So we'll see on the 7th. If it was to play, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. It was a good ending. Better than I thought it would be, and very safe. I'm not going to talk about it, Gene Team, because a lot of people haven't seen it, and also if you haven't been into the show, it's really boring, because people are like, so you know the bit with the people. I don't know the people. I don't know the bit. What are you talking about? I'm not going to go into it too far, but I watched it, and I was like, okay, that was cool. And then the more distance that came between me and watching it, the more I was like, oh, hang on. That's a big hole there. Why did that? Larkbeard, hello. How long until there's a Clog Hub shirt on the, like, why would there be a Clog Hub shirt? What's Clog Hub now? I'm so confused. Also, I've pointed out before, when I see your name, it reminds me of Winters from Band of Brothers. But when I see the Mal bit, I am all about brown shirts. Ara. Just thought I'd put that one out there. But yeah, Gene Dean, there were a couple of holes in it, and the more that I look at it, the more that I'm like, it was cool, and it ended in a way that was satisfying. But there were a couple of like very vexatious moments. Blissful Badger, weakest season in my opinion, having parts of the background being available only through a play that most people won't see is rough. I didn't know that there were parts of the background only available through a play. That is rough. Completely unaware of that one. That sucks. But it was, when the first part of the last season dropped for Stranger Things, I was like, huh. There was a lot of things I didn't like about it. They pulled it back in the second part, and the third part I was like, okay. Sure. But yeah. Excuse me. We shall see. We shall see. How was your festive season, Larkbeard? Did you have fun? I hope you did. I hope you did. So, yes. Anywho, so we've done the merch thing now, because himself, XS, who designed the thing, is bossy about it all. But here we are. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. So we've done that. It has to do with the Oklahoma plot. Oklahoma plot. Oh. Okay. I'm not getting into... There's sometimes I like having a good rummage around when you get the post... yeah, exactly. The post-show discussion. I like getting involved with it and finding out what's going on. But after a show's been going so long, sometimes there's so much stuff that people pour over and talk through and all the rest of it. And if they start producing stuff randomly as well, it gets a bit much. I only have so many hours in the day. I got stuff to do. It's a problem. So anyway, anywho. Awake dog. So anywho, that's cool. What did I want to talk about this year? Tonight. Lots of things. I wanted to do the merch thing. We've done that now. We're going to talk about Miss Monday as well, because she's out in the wild now, which is funky. Talk about that. We'll talk about New Year's resolutions and the ineffectual nature of that. Not the ineffectual nature of them, but how much fun it can be to have that. It can be fun to have a New Year's resolution, and whether they're useful and what yours are and what mine are, because I do have some. Or things I want to get done this year. I got plans, I got stuff to do. So we're going to talk about that too. I always notice, I always clock how long it takes me to get from the bit where I come online to the bit where I'm like, so tonight we're going to do 37 minutes. It's a personal best. It's normally like 3/4 of an hour. So we're doing good. We are doing good. It has to be said. But yes, so as I said, we have had confirmed that we're getting the 2-player starter set for Infinity and 5. So that'll be back end of the year. They hate each other, so Aleph and Nomads, which ties in with my theory that we're going to get the new Aleph sectorial, which is cool. I look forward to that. Versus Nomads. Are we going to see a redone Corregidor? Because Bakunin's been done recently, and Tunguska, although Tunguska's been tinkered with, maybe new Tunguska. That would annoy me. I've just finished my Tunguska, but who knows? Who knows? It could happen. My resolution is to write a book, same as last year. I think I'm supposed to keep it simple. Also aiming for a low buy year. Haha! Nuclear Kid, in reverse order, a low buy year. What's a low buy year? How much are you allowing yourself? And you want to write a book. Have you written a book before? And what's your book about? People need to know. Or hobby pledges that make you laugh at your own hubris. This is it. I put on one of the posts announcing this stream that I'm going to talk about the ways that I'm going to disappoint myself over the next 12 months. Because I'm gonna. It's just a thing that's going to happen. Absolutely. Vincenzo, good evening, my friend. How the devil are you? Good to see you. Are you well? I hope good. You've been doing magic things with books and such things, if I can remember. Sending good writer vibes, Nuclear. Yeah, absolutely. It's no small thing. I've got a collection of short stories that I really need to finish off. I really, really need to finish off. And they're sat there, and they are whinging at me, so I've got to finish that. I can't remember even how far through I am. I think there's 15 short stories in there, and I think it's about 60,000 words so far. I need to go a bit bigger, so. Oh, nice. Never knew you were a genuine author. Quite a lot of books. The last one is sci-fi horror. I'm hawking around. Next one will probably be lit RPG, just for the heck of it. Not particularly commercial choice. Yeah, but every writer has their own experience, but for me, I don't want to write for commercial interest. I'm going to go off topic for a second, guys. Bear with. Career talk for a moment. I don't particularly envy the people who chase trend when they write. I don't think. I mean, I get it. You can make a lot of money that way, but I don't want to write fairy smut. Clip. I don't want to write fairy smut, and that's how a lot of people are making a lot of money at the moment. It's not my thing, in any shape or form. So I don't think writing for solely commercial stuff is authentic. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. I mean, I get it because you've got to feed yourself, and that is always a concern, but also integrity. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's a complicated one. So have you been published? And if so, you need to send me a link to some of your work so that I can buy it and then I can judge you close range. It'd be amazing. If I'm under a deadline, I'll write whatever I get paid for. Mine stuff needs to be an idea that really lights the fire under me. Yeah, no, I can get that. I can get that. Yeah. I'd like to write. I care. I've spoken to some people about writing fiction for other people, and yeah, I get that. That said, I guess I could do that, so I do get it. But it's nowhere near as fun. If I could write well-endowed fairy daddies, I would. Sadly, it's not my specialty. There's all that money comes straight off the table. It's just Mrs. Hydra reads that kind of stuff. Romantasy, I understand it's to be called, and I do enjoy hearing how the latest plot of a book is involving some human who goes to a fairy world and ends up falling for the bad. I'm like, did we not do this last time? Yeah, the time before that. But she's happy, so I'm not one to judge. As long as that's the important thing. Do what you love. And if you love reading fairy smut, zero judgment from me. A very small amount of judgment from me. Anywho. But yes, I need Nuclear Kid, if you have been published, I need to see. I need to read. Because it's always interesting. Grist for the mill. Always worth reading. So, New Year's resolutions. My resolutions. On the front of writing, finish off the anthology of shorts, get that edited, edit it myself, get it out for querying, like you're doing as well. And then the first in my sci-fi series as well, if I can get that done too, and finished in its first draft form to the end of this year, that'd be great too, because that damn thing's been kicking around in my ears too long. But into more wargaming stuff that's more exciting for the masses. Shock Army needs to be painted by August when we go to the Interplanetario. So that's going to happen. I want to finish off my Eldfall army in the next month. It's 6 miniatures for Soga currently. I'm basically done with 2. It's going to be a push, but we can get there. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And then I need to do my Warcrow Scion army, so we can do that. And then I'm going to need to do a bit of an army for Flames of War. Those are my like 3 up to August. Those are the 3 I want to get done. Then the middle of the year, we're going to start getting to Legion, and hopefully the back end of the year we'll be painting and prepping Legion, because obviously that's, well, not obviously, but that is a bigger job than like Eldfall 6 miniatures. A squad is 6 miniatures in Legion. In fact, most squads are bigger. So I kind of want to have a fully painted Soga army for Eldfall, and a fully painted Shock army for everything else, basically. So that's the kind of painty guides I'd like for the channel, to get an editor by the end of the year, which is a really, I mean, we're growing nicely, but it needs to kind of go up even more. Larkbeard got a proofreader credit once. That is cool. Proofreading is cool. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to get on with painting that. But yes, I'm going to paint my Soga. Yes, problem. I know. Look, she's just like nearly there. And then the bushy is all like, oh God, I need to do this myself. That's not even the right screen. He's done. He is finished. He's based all nicely and stuff. All pretty. Even like got a little bit of fern on the back with some snow on it. It's just proper nice. So they're all going to get to that standard, which is a good tabletop standard. So we've got that coming. Yeah. So it's coming. It's definitely coming. Thank you for the energy and the positivity, problem. I appreciate it. We're going to get snow bases. All of the Soga are going to get snow bases, absolutely. Larkbeard. I haven't decided what my my Scions, I don't know what they're going on yet. And the Shock Army is going on to reclaimed city bases. So there you go, go ahead. Woo, go me. Where have we got one to hand? So basically, I got some really nice 3D printed Sorcerman Studio bases done by Problem, actually. He printed them all for me. And then I went off and got a whole load of stuff, and I've started the process of screwing them up. So some lichen on there, I've got some nice little mushrooms on there as well. Some of them, and I've put some dirt as well. So we've got that. They've got guns on them, body parts and bits and stuff, and some shells and things. And then we've got a load of like different brackeny type stuff. Here's the other one. Oh yeah, that's these. We've got all these to do the kind of desert effects. If you've not seen these before, when they are done, they are really nice. And then obviously some grasses and stuff too to go on there. So those are going to be done too, like grasses and stuff. And then to really finish it off and tie it all together, we have 2 different types of moss. So this is like a liquid one, and this is very much a powdery type thing. So we're going to really take those bases and make them look like a destroyed city on Paradiso. that's been reclaimed by the jungle, and then the my guys are going to be all on there with their city stuff and the secret fuel for the hobby. Yes, you are. Well, not so secret. So anyway, so that's what's paint-wise. I'd like to base my Imperial Knights, which is a way bigger project than it sounds. Yeah, the bases on Knights is huge, and if you do anything cinematic with it, it's a big thing. So absolutely, very different from these. I mean, I'm taking my time with the bases for my shock army, because I've decided that this shock army is being kept. It is the one that I'm going to keep, even if they bring out new miniatures. I'm just going to keep this one because actually it came from such a lot of love and energy and happiness and joy and kindness from the community of people around me. You know, a fantastic guy in Australia called Mike sent me a whole load of stuff and just didn't want paying for it. Nika as well helped me out massively, running miniatures across the border, getting out before everything got shut down. Don't ask. And a very good friend of mine as well gave me my Drago, and there's just a huge bunch of people that just came together and went, there you go, just out of the kindness of their hearts. So this army I'm going to keep. This is going to stay with me. Although I have two of my regulars have got new homes, because I think I had like 11 shock army regulars, which is a bit much. It's a bit much. I had to have a chat with myself about, yes, you want to keep them, but you're never going to use them, are you? No. So let's get rid of them. No, we're going to get rid of them now. Very disappointing. But anyway, so they're off out. But yeah, so that's kind of the aims for all those. And then for the channel, I want to get the Learn to Play Eldfall series, the Learn to Play Warcrow series. If I can, the Learn to Play Flames of War series, although I think that's a stretch, maybe. But I think those other two will definitely go in the first half of this year. And then the back half of this year, it'll be Learn to Play Legion. So, you're done with pinning miniatures, going Volkalax or Dozers and Kibbervolk. Yeah, Problems Miniatures, the work that he's doing on his Ariadna at the moment is peak. It's beautiful, I have to say. It's very, very nice. Looking forward to seeing them done, not looking forward to facing them on the table. These are different things. Now, speaking of things not looking forward to, my shock army gets run out tomorrow for the first time versus machine. So I've written a list, and I've written it again, and I've rewritten it, because I know I've just settled on something that I'm going to stick out there and see what happens. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, well, you've played a lot of shock army. Yes, I've played a lot of shock army in N3. I didn't own them, but briefly in N4. So I've not actually played them since. When did Infinity N4 come out? Let's find out. That's not what I asked at all. 2020. So N4 launched in 2020. So it's been at least 5.5, 6 years since I played them. Very different game, very different experience. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see how they do. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good to get them on the table and get out my my jungle gear and do violence. Maybe. We shall see. I'm intrigued. We have plans. We're trying out that new mission where you have the attacker and the defender, corporate. No, I can't remember that one. So that's a very different way to play, and I've not played that one yet. So I'm intrigued to see how it does. But we have a tournament in 20 days that we're going to with Shock Army. So I figured I really needed to get them on the table before that. That was kind of important. So we're doing that. But hey, but yeah, I like the idea, like with having sort of New Year's resolutions and stuff. I think it's a really cool idea. as long as it stays healthy. I know some people that get really like over the top with it and really like stressed about it and things, and I'm just not doing that. That's when it starts not being a goal and starts being something to beat yourself with. Yes, I know that that's the plan, ideally, but that's not my decision. But actually, even if I don't get that, I have a thing for the other situation. Other person who's just private messaged me. Yes, thank you. But don't worry. Yes. Tomorrow's going to be a fact-finding mission. It's going to be putting stuff on the table and going, so what happens when I buff? It's Pano versus Pano. It's all friendly stuff. It's all friendly stuff. Right? Clearly. Anywho. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year. And I'm looking forward, I think, if I can get, as long as I can get my Soga done and I can get the core of my Scions done, then Legion starts. But if I can't get those done, I need to wait until I've got those, like, those two up to snuff before I fold in another system. There's a possibility we've got some cool stuff coming with Flames of War as well on the channel, and if that happens, I'll have even more painting to do, but we shall see. We shall see. Speaking of cool things, I have two other things I need to let you know about. One, in 10 days, I am going to sit down and have a wonderful interview with one of the head development team of Eldfall. And we're going to talk about lore and world building and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be coming up for the channel. We're going to sort of really dig into that. So members, if you're in the Discord and you have any questions that you want asked about the lore and the worlds and like lore, world creation stuff, or the history or their experience or anything like that, anything you want to know about Eldfall's story and narrative, then bang it on Discord in the Eldfall channel and I will put it out to the man himself. About a month after that, depending on how that first one goes, we're going to do another one where we're going to talk about the game, the mechanics, structure, and the direction of the system, where it's going, new factions, stuff like that. That is penciled in. That's sort of roughly penciled in. So hopefully we can have an interesting chat about narrative and all that kind of jazz. Then we can have another interesting chat about, you know, the gameplay experience and stuff like that. So we shall see. So that's announcement number one. So if you have any questions for one of the people from whose mind Eldfall fell, then Discord is the place for that. Absolutely. Many plans for 2026, says Blissful Badger. I'd like to keep the Bar of Potential about the same percentage of my overall collection or drop it a few percent. See, that sounds like a very much, that's a reasonable objective, and one I should maybe subscribe to. I'm not going to, but I like the idea, definitely, very much. Psycho, you don't need to be dejected, because I've got a weird relationship with bolt action at the moment, in that bits and pieces of it get done around the edges. Sometimes I need a break, and a palette cleanser, I do a bit of bolt action. It's working, I'm chipping away. Why do you think I've got so much like winterized stuff behind me? Because that's all of my winter Germans are all getting done in that. So, Nuclear Kid loves the vibe of Cosmoflots. Yeah, they are very cool. I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm not doing a dodgy Russian accent, just in case we get taken over by the Gomonads. No, damn it. Anyway, yes, Cos are awesome, and Space Bear is life, and you did a wonderful job with Space Bear. More about the Discord though. Oh, bugger! Yes, I haven't looked, sorry, Psycho, I haven't looked into that. Yes. I need to sort that out. Do you know what I can do? F it. Wait there. Bear with me, everybody, because a very, very nice chap who I've not looked after him enough, and I need to look after him a little bit better. So, oof. Right. Let's just sort that out. Ba-ba-ba-bum-bum-ba-bum. Where's he gone? You love it when Your computer says no. Yeah, there we go. Right. Sorted that out. You now have an invite, buddy, because I was meant to give that to you ages ago and I didn't. So sorry about that. But that should now be you on the Discord. You lucky duck. You can join the insanity and start making more noise in the well, straight in there like a missile. If you are a member of the channel or you are a Patreon and you haven't joined Discord, then message and stuff, and you should be, because that's one of the main, not one of the main, it's one of the benefits of becoming a member is you don't just get longer and more stuff and more entries to stuff, you also get the Discord, so you can come and join the group hug that is a bunch of geeks sat around complaining about the universe and comparing food pictures a lot at the moment, because everyone's eating tasty food and it's very nice. We are enjoying that immensely. The next thing to talk about is, after a look back and forth, we're going to be on the channel getting some really cool videos. So a very good friend of mine, it's many moons ago, and this is I'm actually going to interview him for the channel as well, but many moons ago, I was at a tournament, Infinity tournament. Kaz, you can finally hear. Hello! Second bit of good news. The first bit of good news you'd have loved to hear, but you missed it. You have to go back and watch it later, mate, I'm going to say. So, a very good friend of mine, I didn't know who he was at the time, but I was at a tournament on the south of England for Infinity, and this guy walked in and we started talking. You know when you hit it off. Anyway, I ended up teaching him to play Infinity. He became a very good friend of mine. He is, there seems to be a certain group of people. He was the first one that I met like it, and therefore forever is etched upon my heart, who is actually a really good player. He's a really potent player of Infinity, or he was. He's kind of retired now. An incredibly good painter, a genuine artist with a brush, and a disgustingly nice person. You know? You're like, I hate you for this, I hate you for this, but I love you because you're great. I'm supposed to do it. I was supposed to hate that face. Anyhow, he, however, is now, on top of many other things that he does, he is a streamer on TikTok and on Twitch. He does some stuff there. But excuse me one second. I'm just gonna die for a second and then not unmute myself. Wait for it. So anyway, he and I were chatting the other day because I've been trying to get some videos done and it's just not been working out. Things have not been lining up, but he's going to help me. So what we're going to get on the channel is how to paint Infinity miniatures with oils and that kind of thing. Doing some, he's got, yeah, we're talking about it and talking about weathering and all this kind of stuff. So there's going to be a series of videos that come out done by this guy whose work is just mwah. If you watch channels like Tabletop Tactics, one of their armies was 90% painted by him. And then another painting studio bought that army off of him, got the recipe, and then did like a couple of other bits and went, hey, we painted this. Yeah, you didn't. I've seen the, yeah, anyway. Push that away. But he's a lovely human being. He's going to do a series of like basic beginner videos on using oils and pin washing and all this kind of stuff, just to help you up your game, because you don't see many pin washes and oil work done in Infinity. It's not a thing you really see. He was doing it 10 years ago plus, and it always just made the miniatures pop. Oils can be messy, Mike, that's absolutely true, but there are ways and there are ways, and that's one of the reasons that we're doing this series. There's some, you wait and see. I've got the support of AK, the paint company. They've sent some stuff that we requested, so that's going to be, yeah. He's then going to be launching on YouTube his own channel, and the start of that probably is going to be painting up a miniature that I'm going to send to him, which is the limited edition Murat. So if you've seen the limited edition Murat for LF, it's a beautiful miniature. He's going to paint that up end to end. on his channel, and we are on this channel going to get lots of like, here's a specific focus on using this specific skill and this specific skill and this specific skill. So it's going to be a really, really cool thing. I look forward to that coming soon. I'm very excited for it because I did an afternoon painting course with him 10 plus years ago, and I learnt more in that afternoon than I have done since. He's a really good teacher and he really knows his stuff. And he's one of these people who's like, right, okay, you don't need to be skilled. You have to know what people look for to make it look like a good paint job. And this is how you achieve that. It's like, we can cheat. I'm with you. Genius. Love him dearly. Anyway, so you're going to see that and an interview with him as well, because he's a really interesting person. He's got some really good things to say about the mental approach to painting, technical approach to painting. And I think it's not something that I'm ever going to do, because I am not a bad painter, and if I put my mind to it, I can be pretty good. But I'm also incredibly impatient, and I know that, you know, spending 8 or 10 hours on a single miniature, I get bored. I'm just like, I'm just not done. That's why, like, I started painting the trip hammer and I got about 50-60% of the way through and it hasn't been finished. I'm like, God, I've just got the bit and the bit and the bit. Oh. So you're not really going to see painting stuff from me on here because it's just not my bag. It's not my thing. But when his channel launches, there's going to be stuff that we work together on, because I'd like to bring you painting content. I'm not the man to do it. Show. It's dice gods, not brush gods. That's all I'll say. So anyway. I'd really like to push things like oils and enamel washes more. I doubt I can get up to the top levels in terms of technical skills, so I'm looking at going sideways and trying more techniques. That's exactly what this series is going to be about, Nuclear Kid. That's exactly what it's going to be about, because, like I said, I oil wash my tanks and stuff for bolt action. That I have no issue with doing that, but I never do it with anything else. And you can, and it just bang, instantly. You put some oils on a miniature and it just brings it to life, especially on the tabletop. It just, that bang that it gives on. Anyway, that's coming up. You sent an email to the... Cool, thank you. I shall look forward to that later. Hang on. Let me just make sure that it made it through, because sometimes... Gotcha. Yes, hello, person. Hail me indeed. I have got your email, thank you. I shall have a look at that later. Is this the clog chat? This is only clogs. Is this for the general or the patrons? The videos is going out generally. That is going out generally. There will be some stuff, if this works and people like what we do together, then I have other cunning plans that will happen that will have exclusive stuff and will have general stuff. Because like I said, I'd like the Dice Gods to be kind of, you come here, you've got your first box of miniatures and a confused feeling in the pit of your stomach, and we take you from there to playing well, which I think we're moving on to that now. I'm starting to get into some real meaty stuff with Infinity, and then we're going to start the entry stuff with Eldfall and Walker and all the rest of it, and they'll move up to the meaty stuff over the coming years. So you should be able to go all the way through to being a really good player, but I also want to get you to a point where you can be a confident painter, try different skills, and have a resource where you can go, okay, cool, I've seen this style. How? That's what I'm looking to do, so absolutely. Mal Winter's not dead and not muted. A complete success. Yes, we're all very proud of Kaz when he achieves such things. He's a good little sausage, and I'm glad he's here. Fancy indeed. Good evening, Phoenix. Welcome. Hello. Good to see you. I hope you're well. And Hendrik, it's good to see you too, buddy. How are you? Are you good? You had a good Christmas season? No, you weren't dead. You just weren't talking, so we were concerned, Kaz. We were concerned. It's always nice to hear from you. It's always nice to hear from you. So like I said, I have done the draws for the 2 different things. and one person's been contacted for Eldfall. So I've done the live stream one. That's already done. But I haven't announced or I haven't contacted the person who won on the videos. So that's the thing I still have to do. So I should get that done very soon. Very exciting. And then I can organise to get people toys, and then those people can have those toys and be like playing them and Eldfalling, and they'd be good. Hendrik, I'm pleased to hear that. It's good to hear, buddy. And I know. Ooh, indeed, Kaz. And before you ask, Hendrik, I'm hoping to get the dates for when we're having game nights soon. Just bring it all right down to the micro and zoom it back out again. So, a good year of gaming for all. Indeed. I think it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be a good year. I'm intrigued to see what the year ahead holds. Last year was interesting. You look back, especially, I like watching some of my fellow YouTubers, and there's been some videos out there of like the best of the year and the worst of the year and all that kind of stuff, and the stuff that really died. And yeah, I think it's always interesting. It's like Halo last year sort of went, it sort of appeared and then sort of went, and that was it. There's been a couple of other systems in the last year that have done that. Yeah, Hendrik, I can read your mind. I know you're ready to play. I'm ready to play. As soon as I get dates. Well, I've got dates in. What I'm waiting for is for the person that I have to speak to about it to come back and go, yeah, those are okay. Which they've never not done. But because I'm booking 9 months in advance, I've got all up to September booked up. I'm loath to kind of give everyone the dates so they can start putting it in their agenda, and then have him come back and go, no, we can't do those dates. It's all going to be closed for, you know. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather let everyone know once than have to rewind and redo. It's not a good look. It is not a good look, in my opinion. Even though it is frustrating, because it's been nearly a month, I think, since I gave him the date. So only so much I can do. But hey ho, we will get there, and then it will be glorious. So, But yeah, I think the year ahead is looking good. I think we know that we're going to see the continued releases for Bolt Action. So we're going to see more nations added to that, which is going to be good. We're going to see Flames of War going to early war, which is going to be good. We are going to see the return of USS Ariadne to Infinity, and a new 2-player starter box. We'll see Mount Haven Dwarves arriving in Warcrow, which will be the last big faction, because we do have another faction that's been discussed, the Merchant Alliance, I think they're called. But we don't really have many details on them. There's little bits and pieces, but nothing huge. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them, but I think they'll be the year after. So yeah, I think on those systems it's going to be very, very cool. Eldfall, we already know that there's going to be like lots of new reinforcement boxes, which is kind of funky. And as we heard last week, it's going to be polishing what they're doing, not sort of rapidly or massively changing things, which is cool. Yeah, Psycho, Twitch can be really glitchy sometimes. It lives up to its name. It's very twitchy, has to be said. What other systems? Well, we know that Malifaux is settling itself back in now to whatever its shape is going to be. I think there's still some bumps and grinds to be sorted out there. I think Legion is going to continue to be ascendant. It's looking really, really interesting and cool. But aside from that, I'm trying not to look at anything too strongly in case I get the urge to start it, because, you know, only so many hours. Calmarak, hello. I need to paint 100 or so Infinity miniatures I built over Christmas. Assembly 2 weeks, painting 2 to 3 business years. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's standard. Which 100 or so miniatures did you get? Which factions? The 2-player starter is the rumoured Aleph hack one, right? Well, the problem there is we've had it confirmed that they hate each other. The factions that are in the box hate each other. That has been confirmed officially by CB. Hack and Aleph don't hate each other. Aleph and Nomads do. Now, I think it's fairly safe to say we're going to get Aleph, because we know that a new sectorial is coming. That's been promised for a while. The only, yes, you could have, I mean, Next Wave versus Aleph, but that seems like a missed opportunity. Scots and Scots. Okay, the fact, Larkbeard, you are correct. If the Scots were in a two-player starter set on both sides, that would make absolutely perfect narrative sense, and I'd be completely accepting of it. It also keeps disconnecting me from chat if I have my VPN active. Twitch is, yeah, it is a twitchy, by definition, place. So, anyway, my problem, every game system is finding players. So more systems are not always good, but no new systems will kill the hobby in the end. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. It's having a fresh thing to get your teeth into and try stuff out and all that kind of thing. I completely agree with you. But it also depends, I think, what you're looking for. Like, you have your mainstream. So I'm not a historical wargame, let's just underscore that. I am here for your game of the movie of the Second World War. Flames of War, bolt action. Absolutely. All day long. Yes. Fine. I'm happy with that. I don't... It doesn't tickle my pickle, the concept of doing research into a specific theatre, a specific division and a specific battle to play, and then, you know, that doesn't excite me. That's not my thing. And I think as you move away from those type of games and you get more crunchy and you get more detailed and you get more historically accurate, using D6s normally, so there's a limit to how historically accurate one can be with the D6, but, oh, thank you DC for the follow. That was very kind of you. Appreciate that. On Twitch, that was. I think that there's a limit, and you as you start to get more historically accurate, your pool of people that you can draw from shrinks. And it's a similar thing actually with, in my experience, with sci-fi games. You have your sort of casually fluffy type games, which, this is controversial, but I'm going to say this, 40k and such things is kind of casual. It's, yeah, there's a lot of rules and stuff, but it's mashing buckets of dice together. And yes, there is skill involved in it, and yes, there are tactics involved in it, but in my opinion, it is more casual. You can play it casual, you can play it beer and pretzel, and in fact, the more competitive you try to be with it, the less the system works effectively, the more it starts coming apart, or being less effective, should we say. Whereas when you start getting into the crunchier systems, like, I think, like War Machine is coming back to be, like obviously Infinity, biased as all hell with that statement, your cohort of players gets smaller, because you get smaller with the number of people that are prepared to sit down and, like with Infinity, every year, new set of missions, 12, 15, learn them, find out what they are, figure them out over the next few months, learn how to write a list for that, craft a list for it, learn 30 odd different armies and put those together in a way that's magic. There's a level of commitment and focus and energy that you need to make that happen, and not everyone wants to do it. A lot of people want to get together with their mates on a Friday night and throw buckets of dice at each other. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all, but I think that does limit your pool. I'm very lucky that I'm surrounded by a bunch of complete lunatics who like to Infinity. So I'm very happy. I'm very lucky. Combined army versus Tohar box confirmed. Nuclear Kid, you are an optimist. Whatever you're drinking, I'll have two of. Dear Lord. The likelihood. Mike, US Ariadne hates everyone though. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But a US Ariadne versus Aleph box would be, I mean, it's niche as all hell, but, you know, fair play. I think it would be interesting. What I think would be cool is a new Antipode Tohar faction versus US Ariadne Meravision. I mean, that is a thing and a half, Larkbeard. That is definitely a thing and a half. I'd love the French to come back. That's things you never thought you'd say. But I'd love for the Meravisions to return. They were one of my favourite factions, but I don't think they can anymore. not and be the mirror visions that they should have been. They were. Because you can't spam anymore. And oh, Zygo, you're heading off. Alarm is back at 0500 now. Thanks. Oh, dear Lord. Sleep well, my friend. Thank you for your company. Thank you for subscribing again on Twitch. I appreciate that so much. It is very kind. And we should speak about clog manufacturing soon, when I've got my feet on the ground and figure out what the hell I'm doing. But take care, buddy. Sleep well. I want every game to be Inquisitor, basically co-op. You need Eldfall, because then you can co-op everything. You're welcome. That's what it comes down to. But yeah, I think co-op is interesting, but it doesn't always work for every system. I can't see Infinity becoming a good co-op experience. That doesn't feel like a thing that should ever be, to be honest with you. Cooperative Infinity. I mean, I've played doubles tournaments, that said, but that didn't feel cooperative. That felt... Well, that's a story for another time anyway. I felt wrong in so many ways. But, yeah. So, Mike, what do you want to see for US Ariadne? What type of flavour and feel and units do you want to see? Because you're a slight advocate for US Ariadne. What are your predictions? What's going to be in it? We need to know. Because I have thoughts. I just, yeah. With the changes they've made, the limit of 15 units, there's a lot of the things that Ariadne used to be just aren't there. And I'm still mentally waiting for 20, 25 man lists to come back, because that's what Ariadne is. It's like, no one can fricking shoot, but there's lots of us. Eventually something will land. It's the whole shtick. More like, not competitive. The players are in it to have a cool game as much as to win. Mainly because I'm bad at games. Trying to win usually fails me. Oh, sausage. I mean, it's good to know. But I feel for you on that one. I do feel for you on that one. Yeah, no, I hear you. And co-op can be fun. Co-op like Eldfall is fun. You know, there's some treasure. There's some monsters between you and the treasure. Beat the monsters up, steal the treasure, profit. This is good. That is always fun. But, damn, dude. Infinity is basically already semi-cooperative. To get the best out of it, you have to work with your opponent. That's true. There is a massive amount of communication inside of Infinity by necessity to play it. You really can't sort of just sort of buckle up and button up and throw your dice. There has to be clear communication. And that is absolutely true, but that's cooperative to complete the game, but not cooperative within the game. You know, you're not trying to complete a prison breakout together and stuff like that. It's always adversarial in the way that it runs, which, yeah. I mean, AROs just sort of cease to be useful in any meaningful way if you're not going to be having a reactive phase of an enemy that you can engage with. So, yeah, a reactive phase to an enemy that you can engage with. There we go. I knew what I was talking about. Totally with it. Guys, if you haven't done already, here we go again. If you could join me on Twitch as well and just give me a follow there, because it's helping grow it. It's really interesting, because the more people that view it and follow it and subscribe to it, the more Twitch pushes my channel, and the more people are shown it, and then the more people will be able to join in and find me. So you're not the only one that suffers. You can spread this to other people. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But if you could pop over to Twitch and just give me a follow. And if you have Amazon Prime and you feel generous, then give me subscribe. That would be bonza, because I've nearly got 10 subscribers, which is freaking cool. Yeah. Anyway, so if you could, that would be brilliant. Yes, everyone push. Push. That would be fab. Thank you, Larkbeard. It's always nice to be reminded to give it a shove. Happily growing your Twitch. Thank you, Mel. I do appreciate it, buddy. It's nice, because then on Thursdays, I stream exclusively on Twitch. Kamarak, thank you so much. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. That's so kind. On Thursday, I stream exclusively on Twitch, and we're gonna be painting herself. We're gonna be painting this lovely young lady and finishing her off this week. Because then Problem will like me more because I'll have more finished miniatures, and I want him to like me. Not in that way. Don't be dirty. But she's also. This is my least favourite miniature from Soga. It's not my aesthetic at all. I'm not a cat girl with the ears and all that kind of stuff. But I do say the hair came out okay. It doesn't show too well there, but it goes from like a light blue up to purple to a light purple. And it kind of works. I'm kind of digging it. Doesn't mean to say she can be on the table very often. But she's going to look pretty when she does. But she is useful. She has a... she effectively, in Infinity parlance, has the ability to give one miniature an extra order for a turn, which is kind of freaking cool. So, you know. I'm hard to hate. I try, Problem. I do. I try to be a right git, but it's just, I'm just adorable. It's a problem. I can't help it. Anywho. So yes, if you can, following the Twitch and the stuff, would appreciate, and subscribe and stuff. Also amazing. Also amazing. And again, we have a merch store now, so please go and check out the merch store and buy some stuff so that I feel validated in the time that I spent doing it. Yeah. I have to actually order some of my own merch. Late to the party, but I made it. Ah, Remy. Hello. Good to see you. You are a recent addition to the membership of YouTube and just joined Discord today, didn't you? Yes, you did. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Nice to have you. And yeah, I'm going to be on another half an hour, so you've got plenty of me. Whether that's a good thing or not is entirely up to your sensibilities and your tastes, but here we are. So yes, good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to... This is the first time you're here as a member, isn't it? I think you only joined a couple of days ago, so awesome. Which reminds me, if you're not a member, do please consider becoming a member, because you get the Discord and you get longer videos and you get more videos and you get to interact with me. I mean, you know, you are and you did. See? I pay attention. It's nice. It is nice. I'm looking forward to painting more Infinity. I should prioritise a bit more. Yeah, I hear you, Blissful Badger. It's a problem. You blame me for recent addiction. I am a carrier, Remy. That's my whole shtick. I know people are like, "Oh, you're a YouTube influencer." No. I have an illness, and I want to give it to you. But you're welcome. What did you get? What have you? Which armies have you bought into, or have you yet? Are you still making a decision? People need to know whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, because you know that's the thing. But Blissful Badger, I know what you mean. So Soga goes first because I'm over halfway through that for Eldfall. When they're done, it's going to be getting some Shock Army done because I need to pin down. I have the idea of what the colour scheme's going to look like, very clear in my head, but I actually need to get some miniatures done and painted so I can see it, have it in my hand and be like, yeah, that freaking works, or no, I'm an idiot, basically. So that's the next thing to go, will be probably a couple of my regulars, because I have plenty. Excuse me. You want to see more tech? Yeah, but Eurus Ariadne, do they need tech? It's Ariadne. Ariadne doesn't do tech. What are you thinking? What kind of stuff are you looking for? Because if you like drop bears everywhere, I can get behind that. Some mindlessly scattering mines around the battlefield. I can see that. And a proper tank. Do they need a tank? Yes, no. Hendrik, it was good to see you. I will update as soon as I have dates confirmed, and then we'll catch up. And maybe we need to play at some point. I need to play Bolt Action with you. So the thing needs to happen. So take care, my friend, and good to see you, and Happy New Year. Gomarak, it is an addiction. Almost everyone here online seems to be spread among multiple factions. I started with OSS, a man of taste and distinction. An individual of taste and distinction, I shouldn't assume. And expanded my Steel Phalanx and intercombined with Moritz and Shaz. That took a left turn, I've got to be honest. Aleph, the enemy. So what? AI, EIO? What happened? And then monkeys on the back, and space bugs. I mean, just want to see how the other half plays, I guess, but fair play. Still an Apache flyer. Yeah, no, don't need Apaches. Thank you. Dirty tricks is always good, as long as there's not too many. We want dirty tricks for Ariadne because that is... They need to survive through asymmetric warfare. With TAC, we have that ability to just spaff, just absolutely vomit camo tokens across the board. That is how they survive, and you need a shtick for all of them. So, yeah, Remy, everything. I have the entire JSA line, entire Kestrel, and about 80% of Tunguska since like the first week of December. But you live right by the Warsenal store. First of all, the Warsenal people are phenomenal. Jay is an absolute legend, and their terrain is... The only thing that Trump has ever done for me that helped is tariffs, because now I can absolutely not buy the Warsenal terrain, which would have ended up being another sort of table for me, because it's so damn pretty. But now it's just too damn expensive. So, you know. But dear God, man. So you've got all of JSA. So you've got Oban, Shinden, and Genericus. That's some going. Kestrel, very, very nice. And Tunguska. You have taste. The finest. Well, are they the second finest nomads? Corregidor just pips it because you can do a Harris of tags. I'm just happy with that. Blissful Badger, I think I'm missing a few required minis in each of the sectors I've started collecting. That is the way it goes. That's how they get you. You're like, I've got the entire thing, well, apart from that. Well, that's kind of important. And this, and that was also important. All this, god damn it. I'll get there eventually. Sizing requirements, unless I proxy across sectorials for bots and such. Yeah, which is fair enough. I think proxying with REMs is not really an issue. They all tend to be the same standard size. It's not a massive problem. It was an intentional choice. OSS is very technical, and I wanted to just smash things. Well, if you want to smash things, then Morats. Yeah, monkey goes ook, basically, which is, yeah, no chill whatsoever. The Space Samurai are very, very cool. I have been an absolute grown-up, so I have owned... So I owned JSA when JSA was just JSA. In fact, I owned JSA when JSA was part of Yuqing. And then I owned them again when they were the Successionist Army, what they are now. But now that we're back in a world where they are developing their own sectorials, I am managing to stay on course with just Shinden. I'm being a grown-up. And I think I should get a medal, candidly, because that's some pretty damn hard work, because I am an absolute... I'm completely enamoured of the Karakuri. I think they're the finest little death machines in the game. Oh, I'm sorry, did I wake you up, Papa? Sorry, I woke the dog up with my enthusiasm about death robots, but they're phenomenal, and the temptation to get into Oban or generic just to get those is huge, unreasonably huge. But I will resist. Because I assume, Remy, that you therefore have Karakuri, and if you don't, you need some, and if you have some, you need more. I don't care what the availability is. All of the Karakuri is always the answer. So, Mel Winters, time to commute back to the homestead and maybe do some hobbying. Happy New Year! I look forward to it, Mel. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out on Twitch. I do appreciate that. Safe journey home, and update on what hobbying and stuff you've done when you've done it. Pictures are always welcome. Ah, you did Oban for the... You have taste, Remy. You are most welcome here. You are definitely in the right place, bud. And at the moment, I'm resisting doing the faction focus for Oban because I don't want to sort of fall in love with them again. I don't want to do that. That's not a thing that I want. It's going to happen when I do it, but right now I'm resisting. Gamrock, JSA do seem to have some weird stocking issues in the UK. If it's the same as when I lived there, That's because the two distributors that were involved with stocking all of the UK were a bit odd with how they did it. Oh God, what were they called? There was an outfit in Bournemouth and then Wayland were the two big ones, or did used to be the two big ones. No, Remy, don't do it. You've got this wrong, okay? I enable you. You do not enable me. Well, to be fair, the reason I'm getting back into Star Wars Legion is because Kaz kept going, have you seen the Star Wars? Like, damn it, Kaz, leave me alone. So it can happen. I can be cross-infected, it turns out. But no, at the moment I have. We need it with the recent January OBAM release. No, stop it. I know you need it, and yeah, I know. The problem is everybody needs their faction focus. They take a lot of work because the thing is with a good faction focus is what I try and do is I'll sit down and I'll write it. I don't know if you've watched any of the ones that are out there already, but I'll sit down and I'll write it, and it takes quite a lot to get that done, to get it all pulled together. And when that's done, I'll leave it for a few days, and then I'll come back and I'll try and strip out as much of my own bias as I can, because it's a soapbox I've jumped up on repeatedly on here, but with so much of the stuff that's out there for Infinity, where people talk about factions or they talk about a specific playstyle or whatever, they're not sort of encountering or aware of the level of influence that their local meta has on their view of a thing. So there are many videos that I've watched with very strong opinions on specific armies. There was a point at the start of last year, start of 2025. 2025 was last year. God. Anyhow, there was a point at the start of 2025 where there were a few people talking about how absolutely screwed military orders was, because it was just rubbish. It was just terrible. And then I'd catch up with my friends at my local gaming nights and watch Machine absolutely batter everybody with it. And it was one of those, I get your local players are a bit crap with military orders, but that doesn't mean to say that the army's that stuffed. And it was still performing. It wasn't getting crunched. It needed some love, but it was still there. It was still performing okay. They buffed it, and now it's got, funnily enough, actually, Machine now can't play it for love nor money, but its win rate apparently is going back up, which is fine. So I have to spend some time going back through what I'm going to talk about in those faction focuses and try to strip out my own feelings and keep it in my own experiences and keep it as clear as possible to kind of, this is skewed by my view, but I've tried to take as much of that out as I can, and it takes a while. In gear, my 2026 will see Shakush Duo. Oh, I love the Shakush. Such a cool miniature. I love the styling of it. I love the look of it. I want to paint one, maybe 3. A Zybeck, and the Faikwan. All pretty. All pretty. The flyers, because the Zybeck is the Ornithopter style, isn't it? I think it's the Zybeck. Such a pretty miniature. I watched the building of that by Infinity Gaming the other day, and I was like, no, leave it alone. But it's so nice. No, damn it. Been avoiding the non-metal minis for a long time now. I give in. The non-metal minis. So there's 2 types of non-metal minis for Infinity. For Infinity. When they are unicorn, they are stunning. They are just gorgeous. When they're Seercast, they're not. And that's the problem. Remy, yes, Mo has some of the coolest minis. They do. I mean, Space Knights. Yeah. But there's nothing else that you need to know, really, is there? Absolutely. So, yeah, they are very, very funky, and they are in a really solid place now, although their playstyle has changed really rapidly and really hard. So, if you historical players are kind of like, what do we do with this now? If you're coming into it fresh, it'll make more sense, I think, because you won't have that baggage. But actually, this year I'm getting rid of, one of my armies is getting sold. One of my Infinity armies is getting sold. I'm getting rid of my Invincible army. That needs a new home. As much as I love it, I don't play it that much. I use it for demos and intros, which is cool. But I think I've got about 40 odd miniatures, and it comes down to 7 miniatures that I put on the deck. And I don't really want to play it. I'm not inspired to get it on the table. And that's been that way for 18 months. So it's not coming back. I know how my brain works. It's not my play style. I don't want to play it. So they're going to go this year, which will be cool. It's always nice to rotate stuff through. And now that I've got my shock army, we're going to be happy, obviously. Because shock army does make us happy. In fact, I can do... Look at it all. That's not anywhere near all of it. So much shock army. It makes me so happy in all kinds of wildly inappropriate ways. But there is one other plan that I have for this year, which I haven't spoken about anywhere, actually. But assuming that everything comes together, there will be a new Army for Infinity joining me this year. And that will be US Ariadne when that drops. I've decided I'm going to run it. I've decided I'm going to play it. I'm going to paint it all pink. No, I'm not. But Mike's badgered me enough, and I actually did a bit of list reviewing that's available to members of some stuff that you can do with current US Ariadne. So when it cycles back up, when we get the new version, when we get the new rules, I'm going to add it to my roster of armies. So before US Ariadne drops, which is April, May, I guess, or maybe even March, it could be as early as that, I'm going to be getting rid of my my Invincible army. So that would be a shame, but also cool, because they're pretty, but yeah, I don't need it. I'll do something else, because that will leave me, I think that will leave me with 4 or 5 armies for Infinity, that's sufficient. That's more than enough. I don't need more than that. Right? Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, what else do we have to talk about tonight? Because I'm suddenly aware of the fact that time is oppressing. Because tomorrow is a really busy day. I've got a load of stuff to film for you guys. And hopefully I can get some spray paint done on these guys, some of those guys, so that I can actually have some paint on the miniatures when I play Machine tomorrow night. They won't be painted, they'll just be all black, but that would just amuse me, because at least they're not. I don't like bare silver, it just makes me sad. It makes me very sad, it's just wrong, it's not how they should be. So I'm going to get some spray paint on those, hopefully. Get that done. We shall see. We shall see. So what was the other thing we wanted to talk about? Well, we did the merch earlier, didn't we? We did do the merch. Look at that pretty merch. Look at the lovely t-shirts. You definitely, I mean, look at that. Who doesn't need to own an Only Dice t-shirt? I mean, it's just, and look at the Dice Gods branding on the arm as well. It's just nice. Just the love that's gone into that is quite obscene. But, where is it? That's not the right button. That one. This dropped in today. Did you see this? Did you see this? This was announced today. So we've had the profile for Ruby Monday for a while. Excuse me. And she's in certain armies that are out there. Specifically, she's in Kestrel and Corregidor. Hello. Next Wave, OSS, and Shindon. So all of the new armies, plus OSS and Corgis. But anyway. So she dropped today, with all of the lore and history that comes with that. Looking quite cool, I have to say. Reminds me of the new, what are they called? The new monstery people for Tunguska that dropped a little while back. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Where are I? Wait. It's Switches. Reminds me of the Switches grouper a little bit, the bulkiness of her. I think that's just the design. So they put the lore out and they put the images out, which is kind of funky. It's got the proper Nomad blade there, like proper stabby blade. Which is looking quite funky. I'm digging that. So that all came out today, and we're going to be, crucially, we have here, stay tuned in 2026. At some point during the year, Ruby's miniature will become available for you to add to your armies. I reckon, because every year we get the 2 ITS packs, and we've got the current ITS 17 pack with Social in. I reckon that the second one may well have Ruby Monday in, because that makes sense to me. I can see that being a thing. I see that being the kind of thing they would do. No Larkbeard, yeah, they do. Yeah, sometimes they can be a bit weird in the way they do stuff. This is actually on the main Corvus Belly website. It's just a bit odd sometimes. Oh, Kamarak, to be honest, I think I've yet to find an Infinity Army that didn't have something cool or unique in its model design. It's a pretty game. Anyway, got to head out. Kamarak, thank you for joining. Lovely to speak to you. I hope to see you around here more soon. Very much so. Good night. And you're right, it is a pretty game, and it sucks for my wallet that that's the case. Remy, I would like to see a TikTok style video set where you discuss different skills, equipment, etc., like MSV, infiltration, high mask, etc. Just quick short clips. Well, Wellington. Let me quickly finish talking about herself. Ruby Monday. Where's my button? There's my button. There's her profile. If you've not seen her profile, that is her profile. So 19-point irregular order. 16 movements, so she's got heavy infantry. She is the heavy infantry, there you go. HI skills. CC 18, BS 12, Fist 12, Whip 13, 3 arms, 6 BTS, so you can't hack her. She's structure, and she's got 2 of them, which is cool. Booty, so you're rolling on that at the start of the game to find out what MacGuffin you get added. I kind of like Booty, but I kind of don't at the same time, because sometimes it's you roll it and you get absolute filth, and then other times you roll it and you're like, well, what was the point in that? Didn't want any of that. Anyway, BS stack +1 burst, climbing plus, dodge +3, immunity to immobilize B, spec operative, techno-organic, so she can be healed by a doctor or an engineer, and terrain total. So, yeah. The adhesive launcher, flash pulse, EM grenades, all non-lethal, stun pistol. The CC weapon is her only lethal weapon there, really. 19 points for an irregular unit. I mean, she's got a lot of stuff, and she's got a lot of structure, and she's got a lot of arm, and all the rest of it. But, yeah, I don't know I'd be too incredibly enamoured of that, to be honest with you. Pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm not particularly wowed by that one, to be fair. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's got some usage, but it's not. You know, there's a trend at the moment with Corvus Belli of putting stuff out that is non-lethal. It doesn't kill stuff, and I just like blowing stuff's brains out. It's just my whole shtick. Oh, problem. Good night. Sleep well. Thank you for joining and hanging out. It's always a pleasure to see you here, buddy. It's always a pleasure to see you here. So, yeah. Non-lethal, no killy stuff, 19 points for an irregular, 2 wound, 2 structure, 3 arm unit. Tech organic is nice, spec op is nice, specialist operative, sorry, is nice, but not wowed. There's pretty much, I can find better things to spend my points on than that, as a rule. But that's just my view. What do you think? Do you like it? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be pretty miniature, but yeah. So. Remy, TikTok style video. So I have 2 TikToks because I'm just that kind of cool. But I've got Infinity the TikTok and I've got the Dice Gods WG. I'm going to start. I've put some stuff up on Infinity the TikTok a few times over the past, and I think I'm going to start posting more stuff up on the proper Dice Gods one, because I want to bring it on brand and do it properly and bring it into me. So there is a series of videos that is going to come soon, TM. It's not specifically what you're talking about there, but it is going to be, hang on a second, where's my planning doc? What's this one? This one? No, that's definitely not, that's way too long. Oh, that's the wrong button. Where's the button? There we go. So essentially what it's going to be is a series of videos with tips specifically for dealing with specific situations. So we're going to have like top 5 Infinity and 5 tips for dealing with tags, getting off an alpha strike, stopping an alpha strike, using airborne deployment, stopping airborne deployment, using hacking devices, countering guided missile, dealing with camo spam, using camo, and understanding your hackers, basically. So those are the first 10 videos, and it's going to kind of be that quick burst, like, here's your top 10 or your top 5, bang, 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 this is how you do it. I will cover at some point things like MSV and infiltration, but I've got videos on those in the Academy. We'll go into it in some detail, because MSV on its own, you can explain in 10 seconds. If you've got MSV1, it reduces by 3 the negative modifier of mimetism. So if it's -3, it becomes 0. If it's -6, it becomes -3. It ignores certain types of smoke, or reduces impact to certain types of smoke. And if it's MSV2, then it ignores it. And if it's MSV3, then you can just shoot stuff. There's cleaner ways of doing it, but it's a relatively short explanation about what each one does. They're relatively quick and clean. But in order for them to be valuable, you need to understand what mimetism does. And you also need to understand what albedo does. So while MSV is an interesting thing to talk about, it only becomes valuable, in my opinion, in conjunction with a conversation about mimetism and albedo. So that's why I've done some stuff on weapons, on specific weapons, on Infinity TikTok. But yeah, I will take it. I'm always open to advice and always open to input. So we will talk about it more on Discord. And if there's a way that I can do it that's useful, then I will, because that's the idea. If it's going to be useful, then I will. Absolutely. But yeah, some of them are. The problem is sometimes it's a minefield. Like Hollow Mask, it's kind of, yeah, but then that also applies to this and then this situation. But then you've got Surprise Shot I need to talk about as well, and then. But keep the ideas coming, and that's not a no. That's for the time being, I'm going to be doing the top X ways of dealing with the stuff that I just talked about. And that's the point. Thank you. I needed to add in fire teams onto there. There you go. That's literally just got into the planning. That's how professional we are. That would be lovely. Well, that's one of the great things of being a member of my channel is you get to go, I want this, and then I'll go, okay, let's talk about it. And if we come up with a good way of doing it, I'll do it, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people get into the game and enjoy the game and love the game. So yeah, there's that to be said. So where from here? With 11 minutes left of stream, let's talk about what happens next. Well, first and foremost, if you are a member of the channel, if you are a member of Patreon, do not forget to jump over on Discord, because I think it's like nearly 70 people on Discord now, which is completely bonkers. And I don't know why people don't have a better thing to do with their time than hang around on Discord, but here we are. So if you are a member or you're a Patreon or a subscriber on Twitch, then do please hop across to the Discord and join in the chat and all that kind of stuff. I will be back on Thursday afternoon doing some painty paint, because that's when we do the painty paint, is on Thursday afternoon. So you can look forward to that for your live stream goodness. You want to sit around and talk to me for an hour or two while I paint up herself and get this one finished, so that Robin can be happy and she can look pretty when we do the next set of videos for Eldfall. Then yeah, do look forward to that. We're also going to be doing the announcement of the winners of the Eldfall competition. So if you did become a subscriber and comment on any of the Eldfall videos, then you'll go into the draw. If you comment on, yeah, anyway, they're done, but that's coming out. That's coming out soon. We're going to start the official Eldfall Chronicles Learn to Play series. That's what we're going to call it. The Learn to Play series. That's coming up, so look forward to that. We have the faction focuses for Infinity. We have the review and discussion of the first early war book for Flames of War. That drops in a couple of days, so look forward to that, coming in hot and heavy. Then we have a faction focus for Bolt Action. There's a lot of faction focuses this month. I'm really chewing into those. I've got a lot of things to get off my list, and those are definitely on there. And then, as I say, hopefully in the coming month or so, we're going to start with the paint stuff with my good friend. And hopefully, at some point, battle reports. I would like my next battle report this channel has, because we haven't done one in ages, because it's just, I'm too much of a perfectionist. In gear, I know, thank you. I hope the next battle report will be Eldful. That is the dearest wish, because what I want to do is do the whole Learn to Play series, which is about 10 videos, 10, 11 videos. Have the interview with the big boss man from Free Company who makes Eldful, have that on the channel as well, and then finish that series off with a nice big, here's a battle report. Pooh. All these pretty painted miniatures, all the good stuff, away we go. That is the dearest wish. Will it happen? I don't know. I have another project that I've got going on myself that I'll be talking about at some point, but not yet. And as I mentioned earlier, we have another project coming on related more to writing and stories and narrative, and it ties into wargaming, because we're going to talk about how worlds are created and how people create the narratives of wargames and stuff like that. But that's coming too. So, if you can't become a channel member or you can't become a patron, if you could just get an envelope, stick 3 or 4 extra days in it, and just send them to me, because I need more. I'm severely short on time, so I need more days. If you can send me more days, would appreciate it. 9 or 10 day week would be champ. So yeah, that's everything that's coming up. I'm gonna also be doing my incredibly late review of something that was sent to me well over a year ago. I need to get that done. You know when you're like, well, should I just not do it? No, because somebody sent me this product to review and I have to get it done. I've been crap. There's a reason that I was crap. That's a different matter entirely. But there's another review coming up for some terrain that should have happened ages ago. It's going to happen soon. And then we're also going to be talking about the satellite tournament that's coming up in May that we're running. For members of the channel, patrons, you will get the opportunity to get in early and get tickets for yourself if you want to join before they go in general release. They'll go out to our local community first, then they'll go out to members of my channel, and then they'll go out to general release. So we've got a 50 player 2-day event at the end of May. So that's very exciting. In gear, I would greatly appreciate it if you could sort of warp some space time for me, just on a temporary basis for the next 50 years. That'd be great. that should see me through my backlog. So much to do, but that's part of the fun. But I think for now, I'm actually going to call it a day. I think I'm going to head off into the wild blue yonder and get a whole load of stuff done tomorrow. Hopefully there'll be a video that drops tomorrow night. I've got some editing to do with that and some tinkering with it. But if that all goes well, you'll have the very first of the Eldful videos tomorrow night. And then some good stuff for Infinity on Friday and some Flames of War between here and there. It's a busy old week. I'd hate to get bored. But thank you all who have sort of hung around and spent your evening with me. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. I do enjoy these Monday nights. It is quite crazy. I spend the better part of 2 hours talking to a camera. But it's fun and you lot seem to enjoy it, so who am I to argue? But one last time, if you are on Twitch, if you could go over and give me a follow, and if you do have Amazon Prime, then if you could give me your free subscribe on there too, that would be an amazing help, because I really want to see that grow and want to see that develop, because I don't trust YouTube in the medium term for revenue. They've already shown, I won't go into the conversation because it's boring if you're not in the world, but they've already shown that because they feel like it, they can just alter the revenue that people like me get on a whim. So I need lots of different ways that we have revenue just to keep this going and make this sustainable. So if you could support me on there too, that would be great. I'd appreciate that. And I mean support as in follow. That helps. So have a great week. I will see you all Thursday. Take care, be awesome, and if you play, I'm going to send you some extra crits. You'll find some crits in your dice. They're from me. Enjoy those. But for now, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Good night.